Y'all, I'm gonna make this video, and it's gonna be annoying maybe to people who are like, stop buying shit, like my wife. So, boom, bought this 89 Sahara the other day. It's got a blown 4.2 carbureted engine. It is pretty much completely rust free. You know how it is. Got a really good deal on that. I'm gonna swap the engines while my nephew's in town at the end of June. I already found a new engine about 30 minutes from me that's got a new Weber carb and a new HEI distributor on it, both of which together run more than I'm paying for the whole engine, which is supposedly rebuilt. Who knows? He's got a video of it running, so I'm just gonna you know, trust him on that, and we'll see what happens. But I figure either way I'm safe buying it because the Weber carb and the distributor are worth what I'm paying for it. So I don't know if I showed you guys this. It's a 94 Sahara, blown transmission, good engine, but it's the 4.0 high output, and I don't want to do all the wiring. I'd much rather just stick with the carbed 4.2. Bought this cj5. It's been converted to an automatic, and it's a 304 V8. The guy before me was handicapped, and he had cut this whole section out to get in and out, and he also converted it to automatic so he could drive it. And you know, he's got a later model steering column, but I bought this because it had the clock and the tack, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to part it out. I'm going to build it. This is all the deals, dude. I'm telling you, just the last month has been crazy on Facebook. People just essentially and sometimes literally giving shit away. I just sold some wheels for 120 bucks that someone literally gave me. I went to buy them doors, or buy doors from them rather, and they were like, hey, there's some wheels back there too. If you want them, you can have them. Just gave them to me. So I was like, all right, cool. Somebody gave me a free, the same thing. Like I went to pick up some other parts. They're like, hey, there's a JK top under their porch. It's been sitting there for ages. You can have it if you want it. All right, cool. Sold that for 150 bucks. I know I'm talking fast. I'm rambling. I'm trying to make a video that's not super long. And by explaining this, I'm making it even longer. $300 for this 61 cj5. Now, if you can obviously see the body is rough and it's been cut up already in multiple places. Unfortunately, the spot that I would need for that other one is also rough. I was hoping it'd all work out, but for $300, I mean, for $300, and then he threw in a bunch of parts. Well, those parts happen to be a new carb, a new oil filter kit for this engine, which is the F head, which I know nothing about. I'm literally learning as I go right now. And so he said it fired up, and he bought a new coil and a new starter solenoid thing. But literally this coil exploded. You can see it right there. I left the key in the on ignition and in the on position while I was trying to see if it would start with starter spray, which it did. Fired right up. And then somebody came to pick up those wheels that I was just telling you I sold that I got for free. Sorry, dude, if you're watching this, business. And we were standing there talking, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of steam coming out from under the engine. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? The coil just started steaming and kind of exploded everywhere. I have no idea why. I've never seen that before, so I'm a little worried, but I bought another one that's got a 1-year warranty, and they said if it does it again, I just go, you know, I'll figure it out. Maybe, hopefully it was like a fault in there somewhere. I don't know. I thought, I read something about maybe it was grounding on a point with a points ignition, but then I popped this cap off and realized that they've already switched it to this Pertronics or whatever it is. So it's not points anymore. I don't think. I've only dealt with points once, and it definitely didn't look like that. So I'm just betting that that's not points. I'm not a car guru, but I'm pretty sure that's not a points ignition. Jesus, hold on. I gotta put this cap back on or I'll forget it. There we go. All right, continue rambling. So, point is, $300, right? Like, that's crazy. $300 because the frame is not rusted. The springs look a little iffy, like they might need some new springs. The previous owner already did the spring over axle. He didn't set up the steering or anything, so getting it into the garage was a bitch because the wheels are just doing whatever they want. You know, and so, new parts. Carb, oil kit, oil filter mounting bracket, and, where is it? Right here, check this out. So I paid, keep in mind, I paid $300 for the whole thing, $291 total for the new parts that he threw in. He said that it was a parts car that he was trying to sell with his other cj5. The guy gave him full price for his other cj5, and he didn't want the parts car or the extra free parts, I guess. And so I benefited from that. It was only 5 miles from my house, which is awesome. Did not come with that battery, but did come with a Dana, I think it's an 18 twin stick, and a 3-speed transmission, and a rust-free underseat, well, visually rust-free. I haven't actually looked inside of it yet. Underseat fuel tank. Like, I'm just, oh, and the original CJ wagon wheels. Selectro hubs. I think it's a Dana 27, if I read online correctly, that I'm gonna have to make a high steer kit for, because nobody makes a high steer kit for a Dana 27, and I really am not going to, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. You can buy the whole bodies. I didn't know this. Whole brand new bodies from MD Juan for like $3,400. Like tub, fenders, windshield. Oh, speaking of windshields, someone might have noticed, that is a late model CJ windshield with no rust, uncracked, original wiper transmission, original wiper. I mean, that's literally, in my area, that's worth more than what I paid for the whole thing. And it sat on Facebook for more than 2 days. That to me is absolutely insane. If somebody could tell me, was this for like an OEM snorkel or something? What is this? What is this hole here? I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I don't know anything about CJ5s. This is these two that I bought literally in the last 2 weeks. They're gonna be, I'm gonna build them, I think. They're so nice and rust free, and that one's converted to automatic. I think they're gonna be profit builds, because that's what I'm gonna do next year. I'm gonna get started, see if I can put this carb on here and get this thing hooked up to a gas tank and running. Let's see what happens. All right, so having a hell of a time here. Never worked on this engine before. So I did think it was a little weird. So there was no oil filter on this. I guess they were running it without an oil filter. That's something you can do. So maybe, I don't really know. So I got this oil filter kit, came with the purchase. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I did wrong. So this is the drain plug. It drains into the timing belt, or the timing chain cover, I guess. And it's supposed to come from the bottom to that. So, and I was like, this hose isn't right. Because, you know, if you just let this hose go, it's gonna hit that fan, surely. And so, of course, I'm wrong. It's not supposed to go down there. It's supposed to come up and over and into this little oil port that's below this mechanical fuel pump, which right now has a plug in it. So, I mean, they must have been running this thing without an oil filter somehow. I don't know anything about these old engines, but they're tiny, and I'm gonna get it running. I'm gonna get back to work. I just thought a check-in with you guys. Cue the music. Oh, weather's getting a little crazy out there, but in here, I've got the oil filter hooked up. Gonna have to probably use some zip tie magic to make sure that this doesn't flop onto the exhaust manifold, but I think we're good. I'm gonna move on to fuel. Well, no, I'm gonna change the carb. I'm gonna put the new carb on, and then I got these hard lines just for the fittings, and then I will plumb it with a rubber hose, I think. I think that'll be easiest, and we'll see if this thing will fire up. All right, y'all. I did already start it up. Totally forgot to videotape it. Had a couple little fuel leaks because I forgot to put plumber's tape on the fittings. So I redid that. And now I'm realizing that this fuel filter is leaking, but not from any of the fittings. It's leaking from this top portion, which I didn't even mess with. So I'm gonna have to address that real quick, and then I'll start it up again. Okay, so I totally started it, forgot to put the oil filter in the filter canister because I didn't even open the thing up. I just figured it came with a new filter in there. And then I found another box with a new filter in it. So obviously the kit didn't actually come put together, I guess. And so the oil, we got oil pressure, that's good. But the cap wasn't on securely because, you know, why would they tighten it up when there's no filter in it? So I put the new filter in, got oil everywhere, all over everything, because this whole canister was full and won't drain. I'm not quite sure how it works. But I think, hopefully, it'll work now. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up. I don't see any fuel leaks. I think we're good to start. So I'm gonna start it. Let me get you all situated right here. And hopefully that's a good view. Oh, so I should hook the battery back up and the gas. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get this happening. Here we go. Boom. $300. Bought this thing for $300. I'm super excited about this. That makes me think that this whole build is just gonna be cakewalk. I think that's it. I can't, honestly, I can't remember what I said at the beginning of the video. So I have no clue what to recap or anything. Point is, $300 vehicle, got it running and driving, got it running. Sorry, driving is a different story. Got to deal with these this high steer setup. I'm gonna figure something out. Got to figure brakes out. I'm assuming he put these new brake lines on, so I can only assume that the brakes like worked before, so they should still work. There's obviously no fluid in them at all, so I think I might actually get under there and check the master cylinder out real quick and see if I can put some fluid in it and see if they have any brake pressure or not. I don't know. I'm about to not be working on cars for about 2 months, so there it is. You'll see it again, possibly with a new body next year.